Unspoken Voices, a podcast by TUM Guidance and Counseling Department.
Asante sana, thank you very much. Wanasema sabal kheri, ukipenda good morning, and welcome to the Unspoken podcast by the Guidance and Counseling Department at the Technical University of Mombasa, marking Men's Mental Health Awareness this month of June 2025. Many a times people speak about mental health, and it's often a discussion that is normally being talked largely. However, there's a lot that goes unsaid, especially with men. Today, we are creating a space for those words, those feelings, and those truths for them to be able to come out. I'm glad I'm being joined today by 5 voices across our campus, staff and comrades who have come together to talk about what many avoid about men's emotional and mental well-being. And we are very delighted within this particular panel. We have a lady who has been bold enough to be able to be within this particular panel. And many will wonder why is it that it's a men discussion, but we equally also have a lady because it's equally part of our community and our society. That is Vivian Wangui Tharui, who is equally a youth leader, YMCA, and a deputy president, MUXA, and deputy president, DAWA. And she's also a counseling psychologist, 4th year. And then we have Muhammad Talib, Karib Sana. Muhammad Talib is the president for MUXA and the secretary general for DAWA. He's a medical engineering student, 4th year, Karib Sana. Then we also have Rofas Kinusa Mwakideo, who is a lecturer at the Department of Social Science here in TUM. And then we also have Ogunda Philemon Savia, TUMSA, Sports and Entertainment Secretary, Karib Sana. And then last but not least, Anthony Monzia, Sports and Games Officer, Student Service Department. Karibuni sana.
Thank you very much.
So maybe to start us off, why do you think mental health is a sensitive issue in Kenya and equally even here in TUM?
Thank you, Dr. Sudi. I think the issue of mental health is there and also is within us. And it's because men are always, according to our culture, they're always seen as people who are supposed to be strong, and also people are not supposed to show emotions. But also, given the kind of work also we do, we also undergo a lot of depression, and that also affects our mental health.
Thank you very much. So when you say in terms of like the work, you also want to chime in on the same?
Thank you very much. Once again, my name is Muhammad Talib, and I think it's a sensitive issue because according to the statistic by World Health Organization, is 1 out of 7 people in each circle has or is suffering from mental health. So we are 6 around here. So with the camera personnel, I think we are 8. So one of us around here is suffering from mental health, according to World Health Organization, whether knowingly or unknowingly. So we are having a total of 1 billion people per the study that was taken in 2023 by World Health Organization. And in the 1 billion, we are having 60% cases being male-based. So it's a very sensitive issue, having at least 600 million people in the globe suffering from this disease, knowingly or unknowingly, and not being able to speak up and eating them up. And it's an underlying condition that is causing death. It's causing people to, do suicide. And based on statistics, also, it shows that suicide is the 3rd leading cause of death in the world. So it's a very sensitive issue. It's an issue that needs to be spoken. It's an issue that needs very bold people to take it up. Yeah, thank you.
Thank you so much. And even within those particular statistics, yes.
Okay, just to add on what my colleagues have said, mental health is a real issue that it has been there and no one has come boldly to address it. And for that matter, it is something that has escalated for years. So this comes because we men, we fear what we call, should we call it perpetual judgment, how people perceive you. There is a book I read back in high school, Chozi Lahiri. There's this man called Ridha. He had a lot of issues, and when even he tried to let his emotions go by crying, you'll hear his mom telling her, Ridha mwanangu, machozi ya mwanaume hapaswi kuonekana hata mbele ya majabali. You see, these are things that even now the community looks at you as a man if you can just come out and say, I'm suffering from this and this. So you'll find that internally you'll die with these issues. So I think it is time, and it is the right time, we come and address these issues so that we can even at least reduce the cases of suicide, because statistics has it, out of 10 or out of 10 people who commit suicide, you find that almost four of them, or at least 6, are men. But this comes because someone has an issue, he don't feel like sharing it out because he fear whatever, how people will talk about him later. So I think it is an issue that needs proper discussion, and we come with proper solutions in it.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Probably if I'm to weigh in what we are discussing, and I want to also support what my colleagues are putting across. When we are talking about man according to the African concept and the culture is supposed to be very strong and a pillar in most of the times. So you find yourself you are forced with hold a lot of issues, and especially due to the fact that you have a lot of pressure as a man. Either pressure is coming to you because of probably marriage, pressure of work, pressure of you want to succeed. There are so many things. If you try to look at the dynamics of a man, there are so many. And I'm not shocked when I'm told that the greater percentage of people suffering from mental health are men, because they are facing a lot of pressure from different corners. And unlike the women, and we can see this in the society today. Just look at what men are doing. You kill your wife, your children, or just light provocation, and you commit suicide. See, all these tell you much about man. Actually, it's high time we see how to address the issue of mental health on men specifically, because the society's pressure on man is very high. There is great expectation.
But what is it that is really stopping men from opening up? Is it an issue to do with culture? Is it awareness issue that people are not aware about this particular number? Is it an issue to do with fear of being judged within the larger community? Nowadays, we even have social media. If people are feeling that they can't speak maybe on a platform at community level, can it be done through the social media? Do people come out in social media?
Kama nilivyotangulia kusema, changamoto kubwa inatokana na tamaduni zetu za Kiafrika, kwa sababu mwanaume kulingana na utamaduni anatakikana awe anaweza kustahimili mengi. In fact, huwa unaambiwa machozi ya mwanaume yatirike ndani ya kifua chake, lakini
machozi ya mwanamume
yatirike ndani ya kifua chake.
Ina maana kwamba mwanamume hapaswi kulia?
Hapaswi kulia. Kulingana na Kiafrika, mwanamume atakikane kulia. Hata wakati umefinyiliwa sana, unaenda unajificha, machozi yako hayastahili kuonekana. Na tamaduni hizi ndizo zimechangia pale tulipo leo hii. Hata shida nyingi tunazoziona zinatokea katika familia. The main challenges you are seeing today, it is just because of that. Men are just suppressing. They are weighing through so many, and they are swallowing so many. You are a married man, you are facing challenges in marriage, you want to be seen, everything is okay when you are walking out. Kumbe the other day you were beaten by your wife. You see? Yeah, these are the things which are happening. Yeah. So you want to be seen, everything is good. Sometimes even you are walking where you see them walking out holding their hands, but follow them behind the curtain.
If we were to bring from the culture, you've spoken about the issues to do with the culture.
Yeah.
The one that we are here today, do we still feel the same? Do we feel that as a man you're not supposed to cry? Do you cry yourself?
I really cry by the I really do cry because I was raised up knowing that men are supposed to be tough. Yeah, that's the right time. You're not supposed to cry, as my learned fellow has put it. Literature shows us the way of life. That speaks a lot itself, because number one, if we're talking about society, we're having societal stigma. Yeah, as a man, if you cry, you are taken as a better man, a weak man. Nobody would want to associate with a weak man. So for you to fit in, you have to be tough. You don't have any other option. As my very learned friend here, CPA Ogundo, has put it, yeah, how will I be judged? Perpetual judgment has been a big issue, not only in this generation but the previous generations, and the coming generations will also have the same issues. I don't want to be judged in a negative manner.
So do you think the perception that you have in terms of the generation, is it being taken care by the same generation, or is it something that only you you think?
I really love how people have nowadays become very innovative in protecting their mental health. I have seen people coming up with this AI thing that people can speak. At least right now, I'm seeing men speak, not to people. I cannot come to you, Dr. Sudi, telling you, Bana, I've been beaten by either my wife or somebody has beaten me up. I'll never. But I think it has somehow now become easier and more comfortable for you to speak to an AI who will not speak to anybody about your problems. We have that perception that if I speak to Dr. Sudi today, tomorrow Mr. Mwanzia would know that I was beaten by my wife, and that should not happen. Yeah, it should be between me and me. So yeah, right now this generation has come up with a mechanism, to take care of the mental health, given that they have decided to utilize technology. That is, yeah.
Okay, maybe just to add on what he has said, I was tempted to just listen as men converse this, but let me add on top of what he has just said. I'll echo the point of self-reliance, whereby men feel that they can do it by themselves, or they should just do it either way, whether it's working or not. Like, you have an obligation or a duty to just make it work, to just do it. So I believe that is one of the biggest thing or challenge that men are even facing, so that it becomes hard for them to, they find themselves as the only problem solvers. Like, they should come out with a solution. They should always provide the solution. If at all it's a family issue, a family crisis, your wife, your children, they're all looking up to you. They're all expecting you to give a solution. So, and even biblically, even that the fact that you're the head of the family, according to what most religions believe, they expect you to come up with a solution, be the provider, be the person that they run to, you see. And maybe to add on another point that he has not mentioned, I'll say the men also lack the mental health literacy, whereby they find emotions don't value that much, or their feelings don't matter that much. Unlike women who have mood swings and they acknowledge their moods, they feel, today I'm feeling so down, I can maybe even go out, get an ice cream, and feel rejuvenated, or get myself back. You see, so men don't acknowledge that act of feelings or emotions. They really don't matter to them, compared to what ladies feel.
That's an interesting one, and I'm just curious to know from your perspective. How will you look as a man who comes and reports to be having moods to be having issue with his emotions.
Well, I believe as they were just saying, it's all about mindset and the society expectations, how the society has made all these things look that it is bad for you to do that. But I don't feel there's any wrong for you expressing your emotion. Say for instance, the same way you'll buy a car and you'll want to your the big boys to go with you for out, maybe go for a nyama choma and relax, or some even go to take beer and express your emotions. So that time you're happy when you have your friends and go. The same way when you're not happy, you can just have the same friends or even decide to go out by yourself. I don't really feel there's an issue when men celebrate their mood. Maybe how they phrase it might be a little different from us, because they won't entirely like place everything on the table as we do.
Will
Yeah.
you be okay for them if they place everything on the table?
Yes, we have no issue. Apparently, what men should acknowledge is that we even as ladies or women, we are here to support them. As even what the Bible says, that we are your helpers. You should not be dying of something by yourself. For us, we are there. The same way your mother will take care of you. The same way they will raise you, they'll do things for you. It doesn't mean now that you've become a man, you have your own family, that you should not run to someone, you should not have someone to support you. I think it's high time that men should acknowledge that they are people to support you. There are social workers, there are groups of people meant that support you. There are even groups being formed to celebrate. And even right now, the fact that we are honoring a whole month, we are honoring mental health awareness. They should come to a realization and acknowledgement that it is not wrong for them to express themselves. Yeah, thank you.
Without necessarily mentioning names, do you know somebody who has been struggling with mental health, who's a man, or even yourself? And then how did you handle it?
For me, I've seen this or I've experienced it, and being a lecturer, I've seen it with my students. And when they come to class, you can tell that this one is a bit sick. And at times, I've also attempted suicide. They have gone up the roof, some taken drugs, attempting to, kill themselves. And that is now the final stage, and it's something maybe that has been underlying. So, in fact, in social science, we say that mental illness or mental sickness is also categorized as deviant behavior, because it's also some kind of deviation. Sometimes it's caused by society, the pressure that you've talked about. Sometimes the students are so much pressurized by life, by studies, by economic conditions, and many other issues come into play and now force them now to get into that mental disturbance.
Thank you very much. And yes, you know somebody, a man.
Yes, I'll say in my profession, I've handled a number of clients, and currently I'm even doing my attachment at a prison where we are dealing with men wholly, and we're having a lot of cases where men are having these mental health issues. We're dealing with clients day in, day out, and maybe just to pinpoint one of the cases that I'm dealing with a lot is more of pornography and masturbation among the men, because they find that being a relaxation place or a solution to them. I'm currently having almost 3 or 4 clients who are struggling with both cases, and it's hard even before that person even opens up to you, they even struggle reaching out to you, and they want the assurance that the information is so safe, that they are so safe with you. And you see, having such kind of people shows how many more behind the scenes are struggling through the same, and they are not in a position to speak up. So yeah, there are a lot of men struggling out here behind the curtains, whereby they're not in a position to tell anyone, and also most of them are even afraid to approach for professional assistance, because they feel it's not a man thing. It's not a man thing for you to go to maybe a counselor. You're just sitting down with someone and telling them about your issues. Yeah, I believe it's something that they should also look into, to avoid that guilt or shame of approaching professional people for help, because they might find it difficult, maybe from a man to man, coming to tell your fellow man what you're doing. You see, it looks cliche, but it looks something odd. Yeah, but there are people out here who are really struggling.
Fantastic. And actually, I'm picking two aspects, like from what you're saying, and even connecting earlier on with what Mohammed was talking about. He was very affirmative that he can't even go for therapy because he's fearful that if you go and share whatever issue that he's struggling with, then the next day that information will be spilled out to somebody else. And I think that is the same thing that you're getting even from the setup that you're doing your attachment, that people first are requiring or they're seeking to know whether our information is going to be confidential or people will be able to know about information. So then that makes us to be able to have an understanding that it's not only culture, but it's the issue to do with confidentiality and the trust. Can men be able to trust the therapist? Can men be able to trust the counselors for them to be able to talk? And I think moving forward, the issue that you've been able to mention, so not only the issues to do with substance abuse, that we thought that they were the issues that are affecting men, but you're also telling us the issues to do with pornography, they're equally also disturbing. And then you mentioned about depression. Is there any other thing that you have experienced or that you know that men are struggling with in terms of their mental health?
I don't know. I don't know how you will perceive this. I don't know how you'll categorize it. But I just need to give an example of an individual personally now. In my position, administrative position, managing sports, it's usually tricky because it's a balancing act between the students and probably the institution. Okay, because you have the institution interest to protect, at the same time you have interest of the students to take care of. So you walk a tightrope, and this is normal in all the institutions, especially universities. Okay, all sports guys face this challenge because it's a situation whereby you have to make sure that you meet the needs of the students and the institution within limited finances. So it is usually something that puts you in a very difficult situation as an administrator in sports, in such a manner that sometimes you find yourself in a very difficult situation, and every day looks like a climbing mountain. Okay? But in the course of all this, how probably have been able to manage, you take it with a lot of ease, and at the same time find time out, even in the course of the activities, even probably after work. You can, how I've been managing individually. Sometimes after work, you find your training session. The training session helps you to relax, and it makes you have a focus of the new day.
Training session, you mean by going
That is
out and do
having
physical activities?
Physical activity helps you it refreshes your brain, okay? And you are able to have a new focus. That way, that's why you can see most of these guys in sports have been able to manage. It's usually a difficult dynamic in that department, but we cope that way. At least you are able to manage the situation by making sure that you are engaging yourself in different activities, and you don't just sit in the office very much. At least when you're walking and interacting with people, it helps you and it makes you keep focused on what you want to achieve.
Thank you. Thank you so much. So what we have managed to gather is that from this particular platform, that it's true, men struggle. Men have these particular challenges, and there are a number of challenges, there are a number of issues that are affecting, that are contributing towards men having these particular struggles. And then we have even seen the different types of mental health issues that men struggle with them. What do you think that we need to do so that we can be able to help men? Because this is a real issue, it's a pertinent concern that men are struggling with them, with it. What do you think we need to do as a TUM community, as a country, to support men who are struggling with mental health issues?
Thank you very much once again. I think we need to strengthen on the sensitization and awareness. I have been in a lot of platform. I have worked a lot, and with my 2 cents experience, I see the feminine faces are the ones that are dominating the mental health field, and that's the problem. Yeah, as we need to have male figures actually taking up these spaces so that we can feel men are actually also victims of mental health. You know, personally, I feel having a mental issue is more of a feminine issue. Yeah, but I know when you're no mama, you feel, because we don't have
Hiyo ni umama.
you feel you're no mama. I don't. Yeah, that's the right time, because at the spaces I've been into, and mental health is being spoken about, uh, females actually, or the feminine figures are the one talking about it's okay not to be okay. You know, it feels feminine. Yeah, it's okay not to. And then social media is another problem. Yeah, you go to the social media pages and find influencers telling you, as a man, you need to be tough and an alpha. You know, the consumption of social media is also a problem, and so whatever I'm trying to advocate is we need to have more mental health advocates who are male, so that and they need to be proactive, so that they can sensitize, they can actually speak about it, so that men also know that it's okay not to be okay, and it's not a feminine act not to be okay. Yeah.
Thank you very much. And I think people can equally also be able to try and engage Muhammad Talib, being an advocate in terms of speaking about men struggling with mental health, not only having the feminine voices to be talking about it.
Maybe to just give a practical example on that before I even give my point is in our class when we're pursuing psychology, out of a class of 30, we have less than 10. I believe 5 or 6 male students who are doing psychology. So you can see, according to even statistics, that because there's times even our lecturers come to class and say, are these the only men here who can guide people, counsel people? So it's a key thing, and even to them that are watching us and maybe who are joining campus, you can choose pursuing psychology to our young men and brothers who are out there. And maybe to my other point is that, as I'd said earlier, men should see the need of approaching professional counselors for help. There are issues, for example, the sex disorders that men go through a lot of them, and you find only this professional help can help them, compared to, because it's hard. Even if you go and speak it to a fellow man, it's not going to help you. Maybe sometimes you can even go to a doctor and they won't be in a good position to identify what it is. But there are people who are trained, where they go to classes, they are taught, they have learned about all things, and they know they can even look from the observation and symptoms, they can tell what exactly is going on. So it's high time that men embrace that, and also to change our mindset and perspective of, in as much as the society brought us knowing this thing, it's high time that we also make our own ways of doing things. Yeah, it's avoid the social stigma, avoid the rejection part of the mentality that you're going to be rejected on all that, because it all starts with the mindset. I believe it will be more easier if I relate with my dad in a way that my dad would be so emotional and even say, I feel, embrace my emotions, and maybe sometimes come and he's so worn out, and we can play games together because
So
dad
change
is
the
tired.
mindset.
Yes, change the mindset, because dad is tired from work, a lot of pressures, the financial, and he'll come and will tell us, today we'll not be managed to go for a picnic because of how the financial state is. You see, it's something that we can understand.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
Fantastic. We have equally also been able to see this. I don't know whether you have noticed, but I've noticed within the social media spaces where somebody posts and indicate that they are struggling, and largely men indicate within the social media that they are struggling, and probably maybe they even have some suicidal ideation. But when you go through in terms of like what the message, the response that have been able to be posted within that, a lot of it is in terms of mockery. People are like, tusalimie ukifika, can I use your fuliza? Then how do you look about that?
Okay, a response to that regarding the social media reactions and what comments of what fellow men tell. Apparently, you'll find that the people who are commenting these are men, like fellow men commenting to their men. So I believe it's high time that men should embrace each other and be there to support each other, because it pains me when maybe someone commits suicide and then you'll see people posting and saying, "You who have spoken, we were there for you," but in real sense, you didn't provide that platform for that person to speak. So you'll be blaming that person why they committed suicide, but you didn't give them the platform. You are not that open to them. Maybe you can, even the men here can tell us, how many times have you approached a gent, like asking them how they're doing, how they slept, how they were yesterday. You see, it's hard. But you see, like they're just done. You see, but compared to how ladies do it, they'll want to check up on you, they'll want to know how you're doing. And also the fact that the men should embrace each other, like fight for, be there for your fellow man, because we're not in a competition, we're not in a world where we're seeing who will go first or who will, apparently we all need each other, and that is why you're finding even the rate of men are decreasing even in the world compared to ladies, because men are not there to support each other. You'll find when I come to Mohammed will tell me, let us go and take maybe drug or something. You see, like they're not like supporting each other in a positive way. The only times mtakuta they're
So
supporting each
essentially,
other, they're going
men need to support each
yeah,
other.
to support each other,
And I
not
think
only during when they're going to bars and drinking and and doing that, even in these other things, like the positive things that they should do, they should support each other and embrace each other and understand that it's okay for their fellow men to feel down, to feel to feel desperate, or to feel that they can't do it.
Thank you, thank you. And I think one thing that is powerful that is coming out from there that we might not have control. So men equally also, we need to get it that when you decided to be vulnerable, sometimes there might be varied reaction from people within the social media. There are those who will embrace you, there are those who will mock you, but the most important thing is then for you to be able to get that particular space and the confidence that it's okay for you to be able to share. Because in that particular sharing space, your issue is half equally half solved. And I think like probably maybe to wind us up, maybe one by one, maybe to share, what is your mental health tip that you want to be able to give? What is it that you do as an individual when you want to be able to support yourself mentally? Or what is it that you advocate for people to do as an individual? We can start with you. You already have the mic.
Okay. I'll have three things. Number one, men need to acknowledge that it's okay not to be okay. Number two, it's that a problem shared is a problem half solved. It's not a matter of who you share to. Even if you'll share to the recent technological psychologist, it's okay. Importantly, is that or the the zero ground is that you've shared the problem. It's half solved because you've spoken it out. Women have a tendency of speaking out what they feel, and we usually take it as nagging or something, but it usually helps. So you do you. So if you speak it out, it's well and good. To your mental health, it will positively.
The last one.
The last one is that do what you love to rewire when you're having an issue. Personally, I'm a professional boxer, so I usually love or I usually rewire when I go to the boxing gym and do what I love, do what I feel I'm good at. Yeah, it usually rewires me. So people need to do what they are good at so that they can rewire. Yeah,
Fantastic. Thank you very much.
Mine will be a little bit controversial, but I love to challenge men with this because they'll say it's a lady stuff. But what I do, I journal. I actually, every I walk, I'll have a notebook and a pen. I love writing down the emotions and writing down how your day was, that reflection, motivation of what you achieved that day, what you're planning to do tomorrow. It's something that has really helped me so that I'll see, in as much as I had all these things to accomplish and I didn't manage to accomplish them, whether I managed to take two or three of them, it helps me get the energy for tomorrow. So allows me not to be down or look so feel that I've not accomplished at all. And maybe also a challenge, and also I love to tell ladies this, that men open up when they are in love. It's another trick or hack that ladies can take advantage of. If your man is not opening up to you, or if your wife or your husband is not opening up to you, can you just look at how you treat him? Because if you treat that guy or gentleman so well, they literally open up
So
to
now
you.
we know where we can be able to point to the finger. Thank you very much. We know where we can apportion the blame.
Yeah. Now, yeah. In what you need to do so that you can at least relax, most of the times, sharing is very important. Sometimes when you share with your colleague, especially those of us who are at work, when you share, you face a challenge and you share with a colleague, not necessarily looking for solution, but you are sharing so that at least, as he has put it, so that at least you can feel that it has been solved, even if it is not yet solved. Yeah, but being in the world of sports and physical activity is something very important, and I can tell all, both the old and the young. I am talking of the young adults we have in the institutions of higher learning. If you engage yourself in, if you feel you are facing serious challenge and you get to the pitch, do some workout, you'll come out a different person. You'll start looking at things differently. Even if it was something which was really pressing you, you'll start looking at it from a different perspective. You feel like you've gotten a solution to it, yet it's not yet there. Okay? So you can run away from the aspects of drugs and all other, even drinking, taking alcohol, I mean. That is not a solution. You get
So
the
exercise,
pitch. Yeah.
do the sport part
Yeah.
of it. Thank
Yeah,
you very
yeah.
much.
Thank you so much, Dr. Sudi. I think from my point of view as a sociologist, I'll encourage people to embrace their religions, because these days people have become reluctant. If you're a Muslim, ensure you adhere to the teachings about your religion. If you're a Christian, stick to religious teachings. They are good. Actually, they save a lot. And it has also been found that those people who suffer more about mental health, mostly they are detached from their religion. So it is better we go back to our religions. And also, we need to demystify this idea of mental health. It is just a disease like any other disease. It's not stigmatize or say that it is a disease for people who are weak. No, it can catch up with anyone. But the best thing is to also support one another. As men, we need to support each other, and also encourage married people. These days, they are also, marriage also is a cause of mental illness, because sometimes we say, I bring 50-50. In marriage, you bring 100-100. Don't say they are, because they are married people who say, even for wives, we don't share my salary with my husband. He's the one who carries everything. It becomes a burden for him. No, let's carry our burdens together.
So are you advocating for men not to get married, or?
No, let them get married, but let them not fear. But before they get married, always come to the table and share. What are we going to do? We are going to carry together this burden. Our children going to school and everything.
Thank you.
Let there be not just one person who struggles.
Thank
All
you.
of us bring to the table, share together, and there will be no problem at all.
Thank you. Thank you. You mentioned on one thing, and probably maybe then that may be our follow-on podcast on the unspoken voices with regards to the religion. Yes. Majority of the people who are struggling with mental health, they seem not to be attached or affiliated to religion. And then I think there's a little bit of a discourse that needs to be able to be explored around that particular area. Sure. Is it true that people who are struggling with mental health are detached or are attached in terms of the religion? That is something that maybe we might want to explore in future podcasts. Yes.
Okay, thank you. You know, at times it is very hard to talk after intellectuals have spoken, but there is something that we also need to come boldly and speak about. Everything, more so in our country, is political. To our gentlemen, or to we as men, we find that we feel like we are underrepresented. So, as we speak now, if something happens to a lady, you'll hear honorable members like Millie Odhiambo or Muchomba speaking for them. But for us men, it will be very hard to hear Ichungwa speaking for us as the majority. Yeah, the boy child. We feel like we are underrepresented as well. So we feel like even if I speak it out, who will advocate for me? Who will speak for me outside there? So to our political leaders who already have the space, they should also utilize that space to encourage the men and speak for us as well. Just to conclude, we as men, we also need to acknowledge our feelings. It is not bad to be sad. It is the anxiety part of it. It is not bad to be anxious, but we need just to acknowledge our feelings. Then we find a way of coping up with them. Above all, exercise, physical fitness, the sports part of it. You walk, you run around, you do some physical exercise, you relax the body itself, relax even the brain. So you will feel at least you are relieved. Yeah, that's my point.
Thank you. Thank you so much. And I think it has been an excellent engagement. I can see Mohammed is looking at me like, and how do you give in terms of the tip? I was looking forward for this particular bold men to talk about that they equally also do cry at a point. And it's okay for you to cry when you're having a problem. I cry at some point when I'm having a problem, and it has been helpful. Yeah, so it's okay for you to cry. It does not necessarily mean that you are weak. It does not necessarily mean that you're not a man enough. It's okay when you're having an emotion to be able to be in touch with your emotions. It has been spoken a lot with regards to exercise. When you look in terms of the biological connection with regards to exercise and even in terms of what's happening to your brain, exercise activates in terms of the release of the neurotransmitters within your brain, and then that gives you that particular excitement. And I think the last but not least, even to be able to mention, within the tomb, there are a couple of support mechanisms that are being provided. And one of the key support mechanisms that gratefully to the management of the institution is having the guidance and counseling section, which is being situated within the Dean's office, providing services not only to the students who are being struggling with mental health issues, but even to the staff and even to the faculty of this particular beloved institution. So once again, thank you very much for finding time to be here, and we're looking forward to the next podcast. Asanteni sana.